This is the video overview of Chapter 7. Chapter 7 focuses on purchasing a home. Be sure you study the home buying process in this chapter. First, you have to decide which one is best for you, renting versus buying. A choice should be based on your lifestyle, financial factors, mobility versus permanence. Renting is less costly in the short run, but home ownership gives you long-term financial advantage, including some tax write-off. Also, the fact that you do not have to move as often with renting or with purchasing, because sometimes they do sell out from under you. Lifestyle would mean that are you okay with mowing yards and doing extra things that you may not have to do with renting and taking care of a home. Housing affordability. Determine how much house you can afford. You can do this by taking your gross income. If there are two people, then you would combine it. The example is a combined income of $115,000 and multiply that by 2.5, and that will tell you how much house you can afford. So in this case, they can afford $287,500. They plan to give a $40,000 down payment. So if you add that $40,000 to it, they can actually afford $327,500. There are a lot of other things that go into deciding on the house that you can afford. Of course, if you get an older house, then you're going to want to pay a little less, as you'll have to do more work on the house more than likely. And most of the time, you're not going to want to go to the very top of what you can actually afford. This form can be found at the end of Chapter 7. You can get a slightly lower rate for a 15-year loan, but the payment would be higher each month. Surprisingly, it's not much higher as you would think, though. Be sure to pre-qualify before looking for a house. Another thing you can do to lower interest is to make 2 equal payments each month. So whatever the mortgage is for the 15-year loan, just split that in half and make a payment on the 1st and 15th. Whatever your monthly mortgage is. PI means principal plus interest. In other words, that does not include insurance and taxes. At closing costs, there are lots of signing of documents. These can be now e-signed using a number of different methods. The cost is usually about 4 to 7% for the buyer. More recently, on a $95,000 house, the closing costs were about $4,000. Be sure you have read the chapter for important details on purchasing a home.